Path of Exile 2, Dawn of the Hunt. Jonathan, I'm
Hi,
ready.
I'm
Got my
Jonathan
notes.
Rogers,
Let's
Game
do it.
Director on Path of Exile 2.
Yeah,
Welcome to
exciting
GGG
times.
Live. Well, it's been a little over 3 months since we launched Early Access.
Yeah, I played
so
the
it's about
shit
time
out of
for
it.
our first major content update. Today, we're going to show you an
Endgame,
exclusive reveal of Path of Exile
tier
2,
17 maps,
Dawn of
no
the
problem.
Hunt, which launches on April 4th.
Good times.
Twitch drops are enabled on today's live stream, so make sure you follow the instructions below in order to claim your Executioner's Guillotine finisher effect.
Oh, that's
Now,
nice.
in today's stream, we're going to take you on a
That's
deep
a cool
dive into the
finisher.
new Dawn of the Hunt update. We'll cover a new class, 5 new Ascendancy classes, and huge expansions on character systems like unique items and support gems.
Cool.
After that, it's on to the in-game improvements.
Oh, baby, let's go.
Including changes to systems, a bunch of new encounters, and lots of other content.
That's great to hear.
We're going to finish up today with a live Q&A session where Ziggy D will ask
I'm
Path
ready.
of Exile 2's game directors, myself and
I played
your
the
questions
Mercenary,
from
by the
Twitch
way.
chat. Now, we have a lot to cover today.
It was
so
fun.
let's get started with a trailer for Path of Exile 2.
But I haven't played it
Dawn of
in
the Hunt.
a month and a half or 2 months.
We as Mary are guided by the
Yeah.
Spirit. It
The
provides
Amazon,
prey,
basically.
shelter, even love. But for me,
From D2.
one day, all that were changed.
The Spirit.
The Spirit, it showed me something. Something forbidden. And to defend all I loved, I used it.
Okay.
I lost
Outcast.
everything that day. But fate weren't finished with me yet.
Also, she wasn't part of the original Escape people there. Oh, never mind. I guess she
I'll
was.
right the wrongs I've done.
Yeah, never mind.
I'll do what I must. No matter the cost.
Why are you so close? No shit.
I will hear the Spirit once more.
So is she gonna get executed or no? She's like a whole different start. Who knows? I don't care much for spears. Oh, is that a special move? So I don't care much for this class, but I'm gonna try it for sure though. Like I said, I only played Mercenary so far. You had the was this the previous trailer? I'm planning on playing a different class every league. 45 new skills. It's pretty fast. The Wisps, yeah, what is that?
Don't make me kill you.
Rogue Exiles. Oh, they're back.
In your blood.
Yay. 100 plus support gems. Holy crap. The uniques look great in this game, by the way. Endgame mechanics. We'll see about that. New maps. Hey, wasn't that map the one from something with the hexagons? In the first game, I forgot what map it was. Alright, give us the details. April 4th. Oh crap, that's in a week. Oh,
Now,
nice.
as you can see, in Dawn of the Hunt, we're introducing the first new class since early access to PoE 2,
Yep.
the Huntress.
Yep.
The Huntress is a spear-wielding Asmeri warrior. Born into a society with strict traditions, she was exiled from her homeland after using the power of a skill gem to defend her village. As a
Taking notes.
dexterous spear user, she specializes in both melee and ranged combat, dashing
Right.
into and out of battle. Spears have extended
see how
range and a
effective that
short
is.
dash, but unlike other melee weapons, you can also throw them.
Yeah. The javelin.
In order to make a hybrid ranged and melee character work, we had to do a lot of thinking about ways to make it fun to both enter and exit melee range. The first skill you will get as a Huntress is Whirling Slash. As well as striking in a circle around you, this skill creates a whirlwind that blinds
Yeah.
your enemies.
Oh, blinds.
Leaving the whirlwind will make it explode.
Oh,
The more Whirling
okay,
Slash
that's
is
pretty
used,
cool.
the bigger the whirlwind,
That's
and the bigger the
original.
explosion.
So you gotta stay
Once
in
you're
it.
out of there, you'll want
Then
to
you gotta
follow
get
up
out.
with something ranged. Whip your spear around to shoot twisters towards your foes. These twisters bounce off
Air
walls and can
magic.
hit enemies multiple times. You can also throw twisters inside a whirlwind to shoot out extra tornadoes that do
course.
way more damage.
That's right. And they spin around too.
In
They
her
bounce.
offhand, the Huntress will usually want to hold a buckler, which allows you to do a new skill, parry. While holding down parry, your character will counterattack any incoming attack from monsters near you, stunning them. In addition, the monsters will take extra attack damage from your follow-up strike.
Interesting.
Some specific skills are designed to be used after a parry and have extra effects.
You still take damage, or
Disengage
is there like
is a skill that does a
stagger
quick
bar?
jump back, damaging enemies in front of you, and it can be used to interrupt other actions, like dodge roll. If you use it against a parried enemy though, it causes an explosion and gives you a frenzy charge.
Okay.
Just be careful. If you parry too much, you're going to get stunned and
There you
possibly
go.
killed.
That's what it is. Oh, you do have a bar.
You can
bottom
combine
left.
this combo
Okay,
with
okay.
Whirling Slash. Slash, parry, disengage, and you'll get an explosion from the disengage and the Whirling Slash. The Huntress also has a variety of elemental spear throw attacks. You could use Lightning Spear to bounce lightning between your foes. Or you could throw explosive spears into the ground. These spears take a while to detonate, but when they do, they'll incinerate anyone caught in the blast. All spear throws on the Huntress can also be empowered
Reminds me
by
of
frenzy
the grenades
charges.
for Mercenary.
For example, explosive spears will do an even larger explosion and leave fire on the ground. And these empowered versions can activate even more combos. Using Whirling Slash over ground fire
Damn.
will suck it into the whirlwind, adding
Full
fire to the
combos,
explosion.
yeah, 100%. More of those.
Using twisters inside a fire whirlwind will shoot out fire tornadoes as well.
Of course.
And you can do similar combos with ice and lightning too.
Nice.
Now, a key aspect of hunting is exhausting your foes by causing blood loss. This
Blood
skill
loss.
is Rake, which dashes towards your target and unleashes a deadly slash, opening up wounds on your enemies. Follow up with Disengage and watch them bleed out as they run towards you. On the health bar of monsters, you can see how much blood loss the enemy has experienced, and the Huntress has skills to take advantage of this. For example, using Blood Hunt will thrust forward and cause a bloody explosion. The more blood loss, the bigger the explosion.
Like corpse explosion?
If you want to cause bigger bleeds, try out Rapid Assault. The final hit of this multi-hit combo will stick a spear into your enemy for a big bleed. Now, Explosive Spear and Rapid Assault both result in leaving spears behind, either in the ground or in enemies. But there are other skills that leave spears around too, like Storm Lance, that leaves an electrical spear that arcs towards enemies.
Reminds me of the Rangers.
But what can you
was
do with
the
all these
skill there.
spears? Detonate them, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Thunderous Leap will allow you to jump onto and explode any spears, either in the ground or in your enemies.
This is a great enemy to showcase your melee
Now, as
and
well as
range
hunting
abilities.
animals, the Huntress also has the ability to work with them. While fighting any beast, you have the ability to tame it and use it as a companion. You can only have one companion at a time, but it will
Okay.
keep the mods that were on it. Try to find a
Interesting.
rare beast with good mods to take
So a
full
pet,
advantage of
basically.
your ability to tame them.
Yeah. And if it dies, can
Now,
you...
this is just the
hey,
beginning of
keep
the
it, yeah,
Huntress.
'cause you
We've
can
really
save.
tried to make the hybrid ranged and melee gameplay work for this class by having a huge amount of synergy between ranged and melee options. There are 22 new skills available for the Huntress. By endgame, you'll be slinging hundreds of insanely powerful spears, sending forth spirit animals and summoning the might of Solaris from the sky.
Solaris. Oh, that's nice. There you go. Yeah.
But we still haven't talked about ascendancy classes yet.
What about Lunaris?
What can the Huntress ascend into? Well, the first ascension class you could choose is the Ritualist. The Ritualist has embraced the darker side of his merry traditions by harnessing the power of animal sacrifice and plague.
I was
The
thinking
corrupted
of
life force skill causes all enemies around you to grow volatile blood boils on
the
their
league
skin.
there from the first game. I forgot
When
what
those
it's called.
enemies are slain, the boils will
The
burst,
forest.
spreading corrupted blood to all enemies around them. The Ritualist also excels in taking advantage of magical trinkets.
Oh,
The
shit,
unfilled
that's
finger
nice.
skill allows you to equip an additional ring on a finger around your neck.
What the fuck?
Taking Mystic Attunement increases the bonuses of all the rings and amulets you have equipped.
Oh, that's crazy.
Now, this is one of my favorites. As the Whispers Ask grants you a new skill, Ritual Sacrifice. Use the skill on the corpses of slain rare monsters
go.
to absorb the power in their blood, to give you one of their modifiers for a short
Headhunter.
time.
Nice.
Specialize further into Ritualistic Sacrifice with As the Whispers Demand, which allows you to perform that skill on yourself instead of a corpse. Cut your own hand, sacrificing some of your own blood to empower yourself.
Oh, shit.
The Amazon Ascension is for those looking to hunt more than just
Oh,
beasts.
Amazon.
Trained as an elite guard to the most important Asmeri elders, the Amazon will use more traditional fighting techniques mastered to perfection. The Predatory Instinct skill will cause you to reveal weaknesses in the defenses of rare and unique enemies, causing you to deal more damage. You can see those weak spots represented on their life bars. While using Elemental Infusion, any charges you consume will infuse your weapon with elemental power, causing any projectile attacks to explode on impact. The Critical Strike skill is as simple as it sounds. It takes your excess accuracy and gives it to you as critical strike chance.
Nice.
Additionally, you have skills like Mystic Harvest, which allows your elemental damage to leech life, and as Mary Brew to be able to use either flask to restore both life and mana. So those are the 2 new ascendancies for the Huntress. But those are not the only ascendancies in Dawn of the Hunt. We've added a new ascension class for 3 of the other existing classes too. First up, for our warriors out there, we have the Smith of Kitava.
The last one.
The warrior is a blacksmith in origin,
The
taught
last
by his
ascendancy
father
for the
Renly.
warriors.
With this ascension, you can take your smithing skills to new heights by embracing power from the insatiable one himself, Kitava. Smiths of Kitava are master blacksmiths and have the ability to forge their weapon.
Check out the skill
quite
tree
literally.
though.
Using the Against the Anvil notable skill,
I
you
guess
can
you choose
enhance
your
your
weapon
weapon with
at
fiery
the bottom?
destruction before any battle. After doing so, your attacks will release
How
explosions
long
on
does it
hit
last,
for
though?
maximum devastation. You can also use the power of Kitava to summon an
Manifest
animated
weapon.
copy of your weapon to fight alongside you. A great blacksmith can do more than just forging their weapon, though. Their armor can be enhanced too. Now, you might think this ascendancy class tree looks a little abnormal, and
Yeah,
you're right.
You get to choose one.
There's a lot of notable
Passive
skills all disconnected
percentage
at the bottom
bonuses to
there.
that weapon.
By taking this point here, which is free to assign, your character is unable to equip body armors with mods of any kind. So your body armor must be normal. Sounds like a downside, right? Except now in true blacksmith fashion, you get to craft your own body armor by taking those disconnected notables with your points. If you want your body armor to grant life, take this notable. If you want resistances, take this one. There's so many choices.
75
Think of it like
fire
you're crafting your
resist.
own body armor, just in a more literal sense. Now, let's move on to those who prefer the reassuring feel of a crossbow in their hands. The
Hey, there you
Mercenary.
go. My class.
Alongside the existing Ascension classes, the Gemling Legionnaire and the Witch Hunter, you can now play as the Tactician.
I played
The
the Witch
Tactician
Hunter,
is a
by the way.
former Blackguard elite. Free from the duties of a Blackguard, he is able to use his training to decimate the monsters of Rayclast and earn a healthy income doing so.
Show me what you got.
This training comes
Action
in
with
the
this
form of
class.
various skills like suppressing fire, which causes
okay.
all projectiles to pin enemies.
I guess.
When combined with the right where we want them notable, your pin
And then
not
you
only
stun
stops your
them.
enemies from
Yeah.
moving, but stops them from performing actions too.
Yeah, you gotta stun.
Similar to freeze. With a soldier's training, the Tactician also works well cooperatively. Using the whoever pays best notable, you can place multiple banners at once. The Watch How We Do It skill gives a portion of your weapon's damage to your allies as well. But if that isn't enough, you can also command your army of off-screen archers to unleash hell and carpet an entire area with arrows.
It's okay.
Finally, witch players
AoE,
will be
not
able to join
really.
their legions by becoming
But
undead
what do you care
themselves.
about AoE? Or are you doing like AoE
In
damage
Dawn of the Hunt,
non-stop?
we're introducing the Lich Ascension class. The Lich is a master of chaos and curses and could sacrifice her life to enhance her energy shield. The Crystalline Phylactery skill allows you to nominate a
Necromancer
jewel
makes,
in which to contain
well,
part of
Lich,
your soul,
sorry. Makes a lot of
massively
sense.
increasing its power. There's just one downside to splitting your soul this way, though.
Oh.
If you have no energy shield, your mana costs will shoot up.
Oh.
The Necromantic Conduit skill causes you and allies in your presence to have unholy might, granting extra damage as chaos damage.
5% mana per second. Jeez.
Rupture the Soul makes enemies you curse explode with chaos damage when slain.
So there's a corpse explosion?
Dominion over Flesh allows you to apply an additional curse.
Nice.
It's safe to say you'll be the true master of the occult by choosing the Lich class. So Dawn of the Hunt has the Huntress and 5 new Ascension classes, but it doesn't end there. Let's take a look at some of the new skills we've added. Now you may remember we've previously talked about the Raise Spectre skill. It's finally complete, and it will be made available in the upcoming expansion.
Don't remember that.
It can be found in the occult skills on the skill gem crafting pad.
Oh, the Spectre. Yeah.
Raise Spectre is a skill that allows you to trap the soul of almost any monster in the game, which you can then summon in the skill panel.
Yep.
Spectres cost spirit and will revive automatically if they die, but the spirit cost varies based on the power of the monster. You could summon an army of weaker monsters, or a few of the more powerful monsters. You can combine them with your existing skeleton minions,
Jesus.
or summon exclusively spectres. It's all up to you and how you want to customize your army of the undead. Given that there are hundreds upon hundreds of monster variants in Path of Exile 2, it's safe to say you'll be experimenting with this one for a while. We look forward to seeing which monsters serve you best. Now let's move on to our next skill. Since we've been talking about summoning undead so much, let's have a change of pace and summon something a little more alive. In Dawn of the Hunt, we're adding the Summon Rower skill. Summon your friendly rower to aid you in combat as a minion. You can also mount your rower in combat at any time.
Oh, for anyone. I thought
allowing
this
you to
was
move at
a
full speed, even while shooting arrows or throwing spears.
Huntress unique skill
Be
there.
wary though. If you take too much damage while riding your mount, you can be knocked off and get overwhelmed.
Huh.
It's worth keeping an eye on your stagger bar, as falling off the mount can mean almost certain death. On the topic of new ways to enhance your character, let's talk about support gems. Support gems are used to modify your skill gems in meaningful and interesting ways. Currently, we feel that a lot of builds have insufficient options here. To alleviate this, we're adding over 100 new support gems.
That's amazing.
Hema crystals will enable a new kind of bleed build, turning the damage over time you would have done into explosive Vile crystals. Alignment is a support gem for bow attacks, which can reward skilled players with good positional skills. Caltrops will allow you to litter the battlefield with hazards, slowing your foes as you fling spears through their
Nice.
ranks.
I like it.
But there's plenty more for every playstyle, such as Enormity, Unsteady Tempo, Profanity, Retaliate,
Huh. It's pretty cool.
Syzygy. Yep, that's a real word.
Yeah, seriously.
And many more.
Okay.
Now, we've talked about a new class, new ascendancy classes, new skills, and new support gems. But let's not forget about the core of a true action RPG, the items. To start
the
with,
uniques
let's talk about
suck ass.
uniques. We're adding over 100
Sorry.
new unique items.
A lot of them suck
This
ass,
time,
though.
we've made sure to add
Most of them.
uniques with a focus on mid and
95%
in-game
of them,
tiers
I'll
to make
say.
sure there are more exciting items to find for higher level characters.
Yeah.
Let's look at some examples. Embrace your inner devil with Chernobog's Pillar. It grants you a large amount of fire damage based on your block chance.
Okay.
The Coming Calamity allows you to become a true master of the
Heralds.
elements, granting you all 3 elemental herald skills without costing any spirit. At the same time, it penalizes enemy resistances.
That's nice.
Wastegate is a belt useful for builds using a single resource like Blood Magic or Archmage builds. With this belt, you can use 2 life flasks
There you go,
or
yeah,
2 mana
yeah,
flasks.
yeah.
It's up to you. Now, we could go through these all day, but we'll leave most of them for you to discover.
I like the looks of them.
Suffice to
They're
say,
very
though,
nice.
we want there to be way more cool things to find. Over time, our goal is to add a unique to every single base item type at a
Hey,
minimum,
is that the unique
so you can chance
anchor
any
there
base
from
in
the
the
first
game.
game?
Now,
This stun build?
given that we have the Huntress, we have a set of unique spears from early game all the way through the end game as well.
Of course.
One example is Scyther's Spear, which combines bleed and fire in a powerful way. It allows your ignites to be aggravated, dealing substantially more damage. We're also introducing a suite of unique bucklers with some interesting parry mechanics. Calgyra's Arc, for example, allows you to parry projectiles
Into
from
range.
any distance. And we're also adding our first unique charms.
Oh.
Bayra's Anguish will not only protect you from Ignite, but will also emit a devastating Fire Nova whenever you do get ignited.
That's nice.
In sum, there's just a ton of new uniques to find. We can't wait to see the weird and broken builds that come out of it. Now, we also
know
want to
it's-
talk about crafting options. In each
Oh.
major update during early access, we'll be continuing to add and improve the options here.
Go on.
We have various new crafting tools that have been added as rewards to many of the different types of new content that we're adding. But for now, I just want to mention the changes to runes. Runes add commonly available mods, but since they only have one tier, flat damage mods tend to get outclassed by in-game. So we've changed runes to have multiple tiers, allowing you to get higher tier mods than before. Our plan is to significantly expand the number of more specialized mods for crafting using socketables as we add new content over time. And the first new set of those comes from what we're talking about next. In Dawn of the Hunt, we're adding Asmarian Wisps, which can be found throughout both the campaign and the endgame.
Okay. Again, like the League?
The Asmari spirit has made itself present in Rayclast, and it appears to be trying to
Wisps?
warn, or maybe prepare us for the coming darkness. You will first encounter a manifestation of it in the Grellwood in Act 1, where you'll meet Delwyn, an Asmari hunter who is trying to find out what exactly is causing the spirit to behave this way. As you approach the wisp, it will flee, leading you past monsters.
Yeah.
Any monsters it comes into contact with are infused by it, making them more powerful. Each spirit is associated with a specific revered animal within Asmeri culture.
It's very slow though.
This one is a wisp of the Great Bear and grants enemies extra life and stun.
I guess the more
The
you
wisp
kill, the
moves
faster it
faster
goes.
the closer you are.
Oh, there
And
you
as
go.
you move away, they slow down to wait for you.
That's good.
But if you get too far away for too long, they'll dissipate and return to the woods. As you continue to chase the wisp, it will
Affliction
finally
was it
possess
called?
a rare or unique monster, granting it a new powerful ability. Because this was a wisp
different
of the
take
Great
on
Bear,
Affliction.
this monster now also has increased life and stun. But on top of that, it will periodically summon a large spectral bear that slams with wild fury.
Yeah.
If you're able to defeat this foe, you will be rewarded. For each monster that was infused and killed along the way, the rewards will be increased. Each wisp has its own mechanics. The Wisp of the Winter Owl is a primal wisp that causes enemies to deal extra cold damage, gain energy shield, and release wind vortices on death. When infusing a monster, they will call down large tornadoes to protect their host. The Wisp of the Wild Cat is a vivid wisp that causes affected monsters to deal more critical strikes and become more evasive. When it
This is the
infuses
League,
a monster,
right?
it will summon a barrage of feline
Even though we're
spirits
in
that will
early
attempt
access,
to
this
tear
is the
you
League,
limb from
right?
limb. If you're lucky, you may even find sacred wisps that can do some pretty crazy things to the monsters they influence. Like the Wisp of the Cunning Fox, which turns normal monsters into magics, magic monsters into rares, and rare monsters into actual bosses.
Oh shit.
Asmerian wisps can drop a new set of socketable items that allow you to craft a wide range of interesting
range
new
on
mobs
melee
onto your
hits.
items. Each one may only be used on a specific item slot. As mentioned, the Asmerian wisps can be encountered throughout the game, but there's also a new endgame map called the Asmeri Ranges, a mountain village where the Asmeri once lived, now overrun with corrupt monsters. This map always has multiple Asmerian wisps in it, and familiar, yet not quite the same boss fight. Asmerian wisps can also be further modified by the
Ooh.
endgame Atlas tree as well,
Yeah, it looks a bit different.
and by tablets.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm not going to be the one talking about those things. In order to cover all the new content in in-game, I'm going to hand things over to Mark.
Hi,
Mark.
I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile 2. There's a ton to talk about with the endgame today,
Yes, please.
so let's dig right in. Path of Exile
Here's some
2's
good
early
news.
access began with a brand new endgame.
Yeah.
And it was clear that it needed a lot of work.
Yes, agreed.
After absorbing your feedback, we're ready to make some epic changes.
What you got?
The first thing is, we just need a lot more content. In Dawn of the Hunt, we have made sure to focus on increasing the sheer number of interesting and different encounters you will randomly stumble into as you explore the endgame. And the second goal is to smoothen the progression through maps and reduce the amount of annoying busy work. To start with, let's talk about the new interesting stuff to find. Well, the most obvious thing to add are new maps. As well as the Asmeri Ranges that Jonathan mentioned earlier,
Yeah.
Dawn of the Hunt also contains 7 other new maps, all with their own custom encounters. Let's start with this one.
The Feral Megaliths map starts off in the wild Ezomite forests.
Rachel?
As you progress through the forest, you will find mysterious rune-carved stones
Oh.
that, when touched, surge with energy.
Okay.
After activating all the stones, you can find a grand henge, where all the energy is coalescing.
So again,
You can
a lot of
then
back
start
and
an
forwards,
encounter.
which
The area darkens, a storm moves
Is
in,
that a good thing? I
and
don't
a
know.
concentration of energy summons a dangerous boss. You must fight and defeat the boss to get its rewards. Once you have defeated it, summon another,
oh,
and another,
oh.
and another, and another.
Okay, that's different.
You have
okay.
10 total waves of boss fights which get incrementally more
Jeez.
difficult.
That's
If you
different.
manage to defeat them, you get full boss rewards, but also opportunities to get new runes. These can only be obtained from this map.
Hey, that's cool.
The Fractured Lake contains a surreal
Oh. It's more like a
waterscape
unique
with
map.
fractured mirror-like objects. As you move around the map, the terrain itself elevates from below, creating
Yeah.
the ground you walk on.
Yeah.
In this unique map, all the rare monsters are mirrored, so you're always fighting
Okay, it
two
is
of the
unique
same
maps.
rare
Okay,
at the
okay,
same
unique
time,
maps,
which
gotcha.
can prove quite difficult.
Must
If
have
you manage to
misheard.
overcome that challenge and make it to the end of the map, you'll be presented with a broken mirror, a powerful altar-like object that contains an item within it. The item contained within is a new base type, either an amulet
Oh.
or a ring, that can be crafted to have additional prefixes or suffixes at the cost of the other. The last unique map we'll show today is one based around the essence mechanic. You enter a crystalline cavern, and you will find a powerful map boss imprisoned in the center.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Actually,
It
there's
is
something with
surrounded by
essence.
many rare monsters,
Yeah.
also imprisoned in essences. By freeing and
Rust
defeating the
Lord.
rare monsters, the essence they held will be upgraded to a greater essence and be added to the imprisoned map boss. How brave are you? How many essences will you add to the boss? Overdo it and you might lose everything. Underdo it and you might regret it.
Yeah.
It's your choice.
Oh shit, that's a lot of damage. One shot.
Speaking of essences, alongside visual improvements, you're now able to apply Varlorbs to corrupt the essences with a range of unpredictable outcomes.
Yeah, they look way better like this. Holy crap.
It could increase the number of essences, re-roll all the essences to the same type, or even upgrade the essences to greater essences.
Nice.
What if they're already greater essences? Well, it can upgrade those too. We have 4 new corrupted essences. Essence of Hysteria, Delirium, Horror, and Insanity.
Each corrupted essence has its own interesting combat mechanics. For example, the essence of Insanity causes you to question even your own mind, as monsters split into shadowy clones, and you must locate the real one before a devastating icy explosion freezes everything around it.
Well, that's annoying.
Each of these has their own crafting outcomes. The essence of Insanity can be applied to
Two
a belt.
enchantments.
It adds a mod that will ensure the next Varlorb used on the belt will guarantee adding 2 enchantments.
It's worth noting all the essences in the unique map can also be corrupted too, if you're
course.
willing to risk it.
Yeah.
It's worth noting we have also added 10 extra Atlas passive points you can
I
earn
figured.
by completing
yeah.
5
Yeah,
different
makes sense.
unique maps.
Makes sense. Just keep on adding
Now,
to the tree and the
new
skill
maps are
points.
just the beginning. We had a goal where we wanted to make sure you were constantly finding exciting new content, and that it could be lurking around any corner. So, we have added a bunch of new things that you could stumble into in any map you run.
On your travels, you will sometimes encounter
Ooh, what is
rogue
that?
exiles. Others like
that
you
a
who have
corpse?
been exiled
Yeah,
and
the
are
rogue
openly
exiles, yeah.
hostile. Some are malicious, some are mad, while others are simply fiends for loot. They will challenge you, a fight to the death.
Hey, nice.
They use
dodging
the same
there.
skills available to players, and even the same items. They aren't just dressed up in those items, they're actually using them. It's
Gotcha.
going to feel like a true player
This is your
versus player
PvP.
situation.
Yeah, there you go.
Of course, if you are able to slay these exiles, those items will all drop on the ground. So if you encounter an exile using a powerful or valuable unique item, which you
Really?
can see displayed under their life bar,
Oh, that's so
you
cool,
want to be
though.
damn sure you kill them.
That's
Because if
very
they kill
cool.
you and your party,
You
they'll
drop your
portal
items.
out, taking their items with them. Every fight will feel completely different
You lose
depending
all
on
your
the
items.
they come equipped with. These exiles are much smarter
Wait.
than your regular monster. They have come items with them. Kill them. Because if they kill you and your party, they'll portal out, taking their items with them.
Okay, I really thought they would steal your items. I'm like, wait, what?
Every fight will feel completely different depending on the items they come
Imagine
equipped with.
you lose all
These
your gear.
exiles are much smarter than your regular monster.
Oh.
They have capabilities to dodge roll,
Healing and
avoid
shit?
your abilities with smart pathfinding, smart targeting, and much more action-packed gameplay.
Wow, okay. This will be a
Fortunately,
challenge.
they're like you, and they're not super durable. Unless, of course, they're wearing uniques like Calm's Heart, in which case, expect a longer battle. There are 12 different rogue exiles you can find,
Nice.
each with their own skills and
Nice.
personalities.
Every class, basically.
Some may insult you, while others may admire your honor in combat.
Another encounter you might stumble onto in Dawn of the Hunt are one of 4 new unique strongboxes.
Strongboxes are
Oh, nice.
chests with
Unique
modifiers.
strongboxes.
When you try to open them, they activate traps and spawn waves of monsters that you must defeat to access the loot. Let's take a look at 2 of the new unique boxes that are harder to find
Jesus.
and behave just a little bit differently.
Ball?
The Ogham's Legacy Strongbox has a corpse splayed out in front of the rune-carved stone. Upon interacting with the stone, you activate Forbidden Ezomite magic, which revives the monster as a powerful rare. The Strongbox comes with a modifier which determines how many times it will revive that rare. Each time you defeat the monstrosity,
Gets better
the
and better.
Strongbox revives it again, adding an extra modifier to the monster. With each resurrection, it becomes more difficult, but also more rewarding.
Yeah.
This strongbox is infused with thaumaturgy from ancient File technology. Eshel's Torment has a powerful artifact inside, and is guarded by chaos itself. Defeating the monsters will grant you a unique item, with a specific corrupted outcome. You'll have to find the other 2 for yourself to see
Scary.
what they do.
Whoa, is that gambling? What the hell
Now,
is that?
let's talk about the
Loot
introduction to the
boxes.
endgame.
That's the loot box.
Upon starting the endgame, Doriani tasks you with cleansing corruption to help restore the land.
Yeah.
However, in practice, the quest objective just sent you on a grind to clear 15 maps.
And now
We
got
wanted to
corruption.
make the quest to unlock your Atlas passives much more interesting.
Now, Doriani is tasking you with a
Yeah.
more specific objective.
Yeah.
On the Atlas, you will find areas of corruption caused by the beast. In the center of each one, you will find a corrupted nexus, the source of the affliction. In the areas leading up to the nexus, you will notice that corruption spills out from slain enemies and amalgamates into powerful monsters. Corrupted maps existed on the Atlas before, but we've done
Those
significant work on
explosions.
improving these monsters.
We'll be hiding the
We've
real
also done
explosions.
a full pass on the modifiers
They'll
on these
kill you.
maps to make them more interesting and more rewarding. Once you reach the Nexus, you'll have a new task. Cleanse the source of corruption. When you defeat the last rare in those maps, they will spawn one of 3 terrifying bosses. Amalgamations of corruption itself. After defeating that boss, Doriani will come and cleanse the corruption for good. As the remains of the boss are purged of corruption, it coalesces into raw crystallized power, which you can use to gain points for your Atlas passive skill
Okay,
tree.
that's nice.
The upgrade system that allows you to add and enhance content in your maps.
Yeah.
We didn't stop there though. When
So-
you complete a corrupted nexus, all of the remaining surrounding corrupted maps will become cleansed maps. Cleansed maps also have new monsters, a new boss, and their own set of modifiers and rewards, including finding
Oils.
fracturing orbs by slaying cleansed enemies.
Okay.
These orbs can be used in crafting on a rare item to
Right.
cause one of its modifiers to become fractured. A fractured
Right.
modifier is one that cannot be modified by any means. You are able to freely modify the item, ensuring the fractured modifier will never change. If you get the right item with the right mod, it can prove to be a very powerful crafting base indeed.
For sure.
You must now choose. Do you complete all the corrupted maps and then the Nexus? Or maybe you beeline to the Nexus, complete it, and do all the remaining maps cleansed. Both have rewards to entice you and challenges to assess.
Switch it up.
Now, let's have a talk about towers.
Yes.
One thing we've had a lot of feedback on is the busy work around running towers and managing your tablets.
Absolutely.
The first change we've made here is that we have reduced the number of towers drastically. So there are now 1/3 as many as before,
Okay, that's
but we've
good.
made them much more powerful.
Okay.
To start with, tablets now inherently add twice as many mechanics. But that's not all.
That's good.
Running higher tier maps and towers now increases the number of mechanics applied by tablets.
That's good.
By tier 15, the bonus is double, allowing a single tablet to now add 4 times as many mechanics as before. So, we're running far fewer towers,
28 maps in
dealing with
range.
fewer tablets,
Yeah.
and affecting even more
Their
maps than
range
before.
is wild.
But because there are fewer towers overlapping with each other, you won't get as many opportunities to stack different tablets.
Right.
In order to solve this, we've made it so that each tower can consume up to 3 tablets at once.
That's good.
You always get 1 slot on completing the tower, but if you can complete a tower with more mods on the waystone, you can unlock a 2nd or 3rd slot.
Huh.
Overall, this allows for
Okay, I
even
get
more
you,
juicing
yeah.
from towers,
So you're not gonna
while
run like a
drastically
tier 1
reducing
map,
the amount
yeah.
of busy work you have to do. On top of that, towers are much more interesting maps because they can now spawn with all mechanics,
That's
including bosses.
Very good. That's very
Each
good.
tower map has a new boss. Let's take a look at a couple here.
The boss fight of the Alpine Ridge map has 2 powerful witches contesting for territory. One witch has an affinity for ice, the other fire.
Kill one.
Who will
kill
win?
The other one, yeah.
Hopefully neither. The boss of the Sinking Spire map is a remnant of the Val that has been
Oh, yeah, this
charged
guy.
with the lightning.
Instead of fire.
It uses a full suite of lightning abilities. But be
This
careful.
guy
If
wrecked
any
me
of them
so
hit
hard
the surrounding constructs,
until I
they will
realized
power
just
up.
stick in melee range.
Another thing that we've seen a lot of
That was
feedback
super easy.
about is sustaining waystones. As we looked into it, we realized that the people who couldn't sustain waystones were dying a lot. A lot more than we had expected. And that made us realize something. During the campaign, the expectation is that you can die multiple times in order to learn how to overcome challenges. You are able to learn how the monsters behave, adapt to their skills, and eventually overcome them. But as soon as you get to the endgame, you're effectively no longer allowed to die if you want to sustain waystones.
True.
By the time you are getting towards the end of endgame, we want you to have to be careful not to die. But it certainly shouldn't be that we have such a sudden shift as you run your first maps.
The first change we're making is you can now respawn and return to a map if you die,
Okay, so back to portals.
continuing from where you left off.
Okay. That's
When you
good.
start the endgame, you get up to 6 total attempts per map.
Okay, so back to the old map system.
As you add more modifiers to a waystone, the number of respawns goes down. This means that as you get to the point that you're running every waystone as a rare, you will have to be more careful.
Yeah.
In parties, everyone gets to respawn that number of times.
Yeah.
But we still think it's important that you can kill a boss in one go. In order to allow that to happen, we've made a change so that once you start the boss fight, it changes over to the same respawning system we use for pinnacle bosses. This means that the map owner can choose to respawn everyone at the same time.
It's very complicated. Just put like 6 portals
Another
for the whole
complaint we've
map.
seen a lot of is players not wanting to do the pinnacle content because of the experience penalty from dying. A change we've made here is that all pinnacle content now no longer grants experience, but also no longer removes experience on death either.
Okay.
Dawn of the Hunt also brings the first batch of Twilight Order reliquary keys from the early access supporter packs.
Oh.
These keys contain items selected by our supporters.
Yep.
They can contain any unique item found in Path of Exile 2.
Yeah.
If the selected item is a pinnacle boss drop, then only special keys dropped by this content will be.
No Pepega roll, please. What?
They can contain any unique item found in Path of Exile 2.
Very funny.
If the selected item is a pinnacle boss drop, then only special keys dropped by this content will be able to provide these items.
I see.
For example, Hand of Wisdom in action can only come from a key dropped by Zesht.
Makes sense.
We're also making a change that allows pinnacle boss uniques
Super
to drop
OP.
at any difficulty. Rarer uniques will be rarer at lower difficulties, but still possible to find. This applies to the drop chances for the reliquary keys from this content as well.
Okay.
We spoke about towers and tablets earlier,
Yeah.
but we have also added a suite of unique tablets. Each of these adds crazy interactions to the maps influenced by it. For example, this unique tablet allows you to run any map in a tower's radius without requiring connections, which can be quite
Oh,
useful
wow.
for jumping gaps and traveling around your atlas.
That's crazy good. Yeah, like
And
teleporting.
this tablet
That's so
causes
good.
all runic monsters spawned during expedition encounters to be duplicated, and
Oh,
weakens
damn.
all expedition monsters that emerge from the ground.
That's crazy
The
though.
Atlas tree has also been expanded, and you can find many of the new mechanics there.
Unique
And
tablets.
improvements
That's
to
very
existing
nice.
ones too.
Now, through this live stream, we have mentioned quite a few new crafting options that we've added. New runes, corrupted essences, fractured mods, and jewelry crafting bases. But we did have just one more crafting system to talk about. Recombination.
Expedition was the only in-game mechanic that was lacking a crafting system.
Never used it.
So that needed to change. Recombination is a mechanic that might be familiar to some players.
Yeah.
It allows you to merge two items together, hoping to get the best elements of each on a single new item. This new crafting bench will be unlocked as you complete your first expedition,
Yeah, okay.
and requires
I guess.
artifacts found during expeditions to fuel it. The rarer the mods on the item you are combining, the more expensive the cost.
Right.
That wraps up all the major in-game changes we're talking about today. With all the system changes and new content, we can't wait to get in there, start blasting maps, and obliterating monsters. There is one more thing we wanted to clarify before we move on.
What's up?
Which is that all the content we've talked about today will be made available in the existing early access leagues.
Yeah.
So you can play your existing characters.
Yeah, of course.
However, there will be new leagues made for those who wish to start in a fresh economy.
It's
It is
a new
recommended
league.
to start over and get the full new experience
Yeah.
in the Dawn of the Hunt
The Wisp
leagues.
League, you know?
For all our existing early access players, we're really looking forward to joining you playing in this new update. For those who don't already have access and are interested in playing Path of Exile 2, Dawn of the Hunt, you are able to at any time purchase an early access supporter pack at www.pathofexile2.com.
Yeah.
Additionally, the Paladin and Penance supporter packs are now available to purchase in Path of Exile 2 and contain 6 microtransactions each and the full pack's face value in points. All the microtransactions contained within these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way. Thank you so much for your ongoing support.
Okay, so a couple of things, especially towards the end game. There's something that kind of like made me stop playing the game. I got like tier 17 maps, I believe. Mercenary, grenade build. Everything's going super well, like wrecking maps, blasting maps, and then out of nowhere you get one-shotted, right? So you're building you're building your towers, you're placing your tablets, you're stacking the map. You go in, you get unlocked, you're not paying attention for 1 second, you get one-shotted, and you lost all your mechanics, right? So if you like a breach and whatever you had going in the map, it's gone, and you didn't activate it, it's gone, right? And then it's like, well, now do I feel like playing another map which has like half the content, or what do I do? And oftentimes there's just like I don't feel like playing anymore. Like I feel like playing the same map again because it was so stacked and I just lost it by mistake or because I was bad or whatever. And it's like, well, now you gotta restart the whole thing. Find like a proper map, find a map that already has like good mods on it, then like find the tower next to it, then like upgrade the tower, then go back to the map, and there's like 4 maps before you get there, which have like almost like nothing in them. And that was like a bit annoying. Then it's like, okay, what's the point? I'm just gonna like log off. That's kind of like what's made me stopping from playing. I see what they're doing with the portals, like 6 to 1. At this point, just leave the portals up, man. Or do it in such a way that you don't lose mechanics if you die, and you can, I don't know, like you pay a penalty or something. It costs you like 2 weight points or something. It was just so annoying dying in a stacked map and you didn't have the chance to actually do those mechanics. It was just very like disappointing and made me like usually made me log off right away. So I would log in, I'll beat one map, oh everything's going well, beat a second map, cool. Start a third map, I die because I'm an idiot, and I'm like, okay, well I'm done for the day. I don't feel like playing anymore. So again, the whole thing about the 6 portals at the beginning, it's cool, but I feel like they should just skip it all the way through. I don't know, it's very weird. And I do like a challenge. I do like the fact that the bosses reset. That I do enjoy. I think that's a good idea. But at the same time, I feel like you're being overly punished for maps that you really worked so hard to stack mechanics on, and then it's like you lose everything because again you're being stupid, you're not paying attention, you get one shot at. That was like very just maybe like turn me off from the game whenever I was trying to play it, and then I stopped playing it all the way. Anyways, definitely gonna play this in next week. I'm gonna try a new class. We'll see what's up. Can't wait. Thank you for watching. Peace.